Hi, my name is Selena Maisonpierre, and this is going to be a short yoga sequence to really wake up the mind and body. So perfect for first thing in the morning. All you need is a yoga mat or a place to practice, and let's get started. So first thing in the morning, I think it feels so nice to start laying on your back. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Go ahead and lay down. Take the feet wide. If you have a yoga mat, you can use the edge of the mat as reference, but the feet will be wide. The knees will knock in towards each other to touch. And then go ahead and place a hand on the heart, a hand on the belly, and close the eyes. And just notice how the body feels, especially if this is the first thing you're doing in the morning. What does it feel like to lay on the firmness of the floor beneath you? How does the breath feel? Maybe you rock your head a little bit side to side. Let's take one collective deep breath in. And through the mouth, go ahead and let it go. Okay, I said one, but that felt so good. Let's do it again. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, let it go. Let's take the arms up overhead. Hook for opposite thumbs and just take a really big stretch. You might even tick-tock the sides of the waist a little side to side, getting into the side body. From there, go ahead and let your knees tick-tock a little side to side. Doesn't have to be dramatic. Just think of the windshield wipers of a car. Though I live in New York City and I don't have a car, but I remember what it is to have one. And then you'll heel toe the feet to come together to touch. You're gonna hug the knees into the chest, wrap your hands around the front of the shins, and just rock side to side. Keep your head heavy for this round. So we wanna release all of the tension in the neck, and you're just rocking side to side, feeling the low back spread across the mat. Take one arm up overhead, doesn't matter which. You're gonna roll over to that side. And then you can press yourself up to come to hands and knees. We're gonna come to a tabletop position, which just means that we have palms spread, knees underneath the hips, toes pointing back behind us. And we'll start to take some undulations of the spine, dropping the belly, lifting the heart, and then pushing the floor away from you and deeply rounding the spine. This movement is called cat-cow. So what we're doing here is really just starting to wake up the spine. Our spinal column is almost like the information channel from extremities to the brain and vice versa. So we want a really clean, open spinal column so that we can get all of the information and the full experience of what it is to live in our bodies. From there, let's start to take really big, sort of messy circles around yourself. Switching directions, maybe being on fingertips, maybe letting your head and neck get involved. I say messy because there's really no right or wrong way to do this one. It's just moving in a way that feels good or interesting or new or different. From there, we'll plant the palms, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, and we'll come to a downward facing dog. And I want you to find that same sense of messy movement even in your down dog. So shift your weight from hand to foot to foot. Maybe let your heels fall to one side, maybe the other. You could even lift a leg or crack a toe. Shake your head yes and no. Press the seat super high, push into the arms. So it's kind of like you're taking a dog for a walk first thing in the morning. Let's tap the knees down to the mat. Bring the knees together. Keep your toes tucked. And we're gonna sit back on the heels. So you can see my toes are tucked and I'm sitting on the heels. Make sure the pinky toes are involved. They sometimes like to cheat the system. If this really hurts, totally normal. I promise you're not gonna break your feet, but we are just opening up through the toes and the arches of the feet. You can wiggle a little side to side. First thing in the morning, I love to shake out my wrists. So partly because it feels good and it also distracts myself from the opening of the feet. Go ahead and close your eyes. Let's be here for 3. Shake the wrists up and down all around for 2. Make sure that you're breathing for 1. And then just release the hands on the thighs. Let's take a big full breath in. And then stick your tongue out, all the air out. It's called lion's breath. Let's do it again. Breathe in. It's meant to be weird. Let it go. Come forward off the toes, and then you can give them a little tap, tap, tap. It's also called yogi toe breaker pose. So If it was intense, you're not alone in that, but it's really good for opening up the arches of the feet. We're gonna open up the rest of the foot by sitting back on the heels with the toes untucked. So if you've ever broken an ankle, you're gonna feel that scar tissue here. Rocking a little side to side will sort of break that up, and maybe that's where you stay. If you want to add on, maybe your fingertips come behind you and you sort of keep rocking side to side. If you want to add on even more, maybe you lift the knees, okay? If you want to add on even more, maybe you lift the knees all the way up. This is how you get your ballet feet. Okay, wherever you're working is perfect. I've been doing that for many years, so I have a little bit more ability than some of you maybe at home. We're gonna come back into downward facing dog, and I want you to really pedal out the legs here and just feel how the opening in the feet really kind of like travels up the legs. Notice how down dog maybe feels a little bit different, so give yourself some time to explore that. First thing in the morning, it's so nice to wake up the feet to set yourself up for a great day. Okay, from here, let's walk our feet forward, walk our hands back. You're gonna come to a forward fold. I really like to teach my students to fold at hips distance apart with the feet, and a good measure for that is to take your two fists side by side, place them in between the inner arches of your feet, and then you get them nice and close, so it's like you're tightening a bolt. That's your unique inner hips distance. Fun measurement fact about your body. From there, hands to the shins, breathe in, lengthen, exhale, fold. Think first thing in the morning, let's do that again. Hands to shins, fill up, taking a lot of air. Exhale and fold. And now this is gonna be the slowest thing you've done so far today. We're gonna roll to stand. Let your arms be heavy, let your knees be soft, let your head be heavy. One vertebra at a time. Think it's like a puppeteer lifting you up. You're gonna roll your way up to stand. Super, 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 super slow. And then from there, we're gonna take the arms up overhead. Hook for opposite thumbs, put a soft bend in the knees. Notice how my feet are still wide, so keep a nice wide stance. And let's just take some circles around ourselves. And I've been saying to color outside the lines a lot in this class. Same thing here. There's no right or wrong way to do this. If you want to make these really big, dramatic, if you want to make them smaller, like a little whipped cream here, you can do that. But you're just taking circles around yourself. You're going to switch directions and go the other way. Just let it feel good. Move your body in a way that feels good. I like to think that Shakira probably does this every morning to get her hips nice and lubricated. So you're just moving around. Flush it out. Shake your wrists. Shake your legs. Come to stand in Tadasana with your feet together, arms alongside of you. One more thing here. Let's reach the arms up and take a little bit more of a dramatic side bend. Right hand will grab a hold of your left wrist like a bracelet. Lift up, side bend right. And you're going to hold here, breathing in and exhaling. Keep lifting up. The hips will go a little bit to the left as you side bend all the way over to the right. Let's take one more breath. Maybe you look underneath the armpit and then you push back down into both feet to rise all the way back up, and we'll switch. So your left hand will now grab hold of the right wrist. Press down, lift up, side bend over to the left. Hips will go a little bit to the right. Notice my armpits are still pointing straight forward. I'm pushing down into the feet to really lift up. Side bend, side bend, side bend. One more breath. It's an important piece because you're filling up this lung tissue here. And then push back down into both feet. Rise all the way up. From here, let's dive over the legs and shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Tap your knees down to the mat. Come to a comfortable seat. And we'll close this morning practice by closing the eyes. Hands can come to a prayer at heart center, or you can always just bring the palms to rest somewhere on the body. But closing this practice with intention, so maybe a word, a feeling, a phrase that you'd like to carry with you throughout the rest of the day. Just call that to mind and heart now. And thank you so much. My name is Selena Maisonpierre. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.